Blue state governor signs bill opening financial aid to illegals. Guys, this is a suggestion VHL member.
The Democratic governor of Illinois, J.B. Pritzker, signing a new law that expands student financial aid access to illegal immigrants. It claims to create equitable eligibility for benefits, but critics point to the growing burden on taxpayers. Mike Tobin is in Chicago. He's got more. Hi, Mike.
Hi there. And putting a lot of effort into branding himself as the anti-Trump, Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker doubled down on throwing state resources behind illegal immigrants. He signed a new bill into law that makes it easier for people, regardless of their legal status, to get scholarships, awards, and grants. Now, Illinois already had the RISE Act, which was passed in 2019. The new bill just standardizes eligibility across all the aid programs to broaden the eligibility for students. Proponents say this will strengthen the workforce and keep talent in the state. Critics point to soaring costs in Illinois. The state is projected to spend some $2.5 billion on migrants by the end of the year, most of that on health care.
The big problem is that when an illegal immigrant gets access to that funding, then it's probably closing out the opportunity for another kid from Illinois who's actually a long-term resident. President Trump has done a great job of closing the border, and yet Governor Pritzker is doubling down on taking care of illegal immigrants.
That's just crazy because the governor of Illinois absolutely came out and said that he was going to do anything within his power to basically make sure that the criminal illegal alien specifically would be basically removed. But then he then says, you know what, hold on. The ones who have not committed a secondary offense, we're going to go ahead and kind of, waive the first offense. Sure, why not, right? And then give them things. Like, you're not really helping the scenario at all here. You're still telling people around the world that if you come to my state, then guess what? We'll take care of you. So what happens? More people will come to your state, bro. This is ridiculous.
Now, the law takes effect at the beginning of the year. 18 states total and D.C. have similar measures in place. We asked the Governor Pritzker's office for comment on this legislation, and as we often hear from Pritzker's office, one-word response: no.
Oh, okay.
Back to you.
All right, Mike Tobin, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Got it.
Last week, Boston received a letter from the Attorney General of the United States threatening to prosecute city officials and withhold federal funds unless we cooperate with carrying out mass deportations. Here is our response. Stop attacking our cities to hide your administration's failures.
That was Biden. What do you mean here, guys? Biden let in all of these people. What administration are you referring to? The failures were the failures at the southern border. Those were the failures.
Moments ago, Boston Mayor Michelle Wu defined the DOJ as it tries to force sanctuary cities to comply with its immigration crackdown. Clay Travis joins us now. It's good to have you. She even had a mariachi band on her hand in order to give a little lift to it. We can maybe show a little bit of that. But one thing I would say about her, Clay, is that she has her convictions. She doesn't sway from them, even when you have all of these people who have been arrested right there in her city.
She doesn't care about it.
I mean, can we pause and just watch the mariachi band there in a minute? Because look at this.
Okay.
This is what Democrats are dealing with. More than anything else, they're just huge dorks. I mean, every single public event they have, does it seem like a place that you would want to be? Now, they're wrong on all policies, but they're also wrong on all messaging. And look, here is the problem. As Bill knows better than anybody, because he spent more time covering the border when nobody would, Joe Biden let over 10 million illegals in 4 years. Now, the Trump administration is trying to clean up that mess, and somehow Mayor Wu and other Democrat officials like her are trying to suggest that it's the Trump administration that has caused this mess.
Yeah.
It is not. They are trying to fix the mess that Joe Biden created. And I think it's awful politics for them to be standing up aggressively in favor of illegal immigrants when so many of their constituents want there to be a lot of other things addressed. And I think it ties in with President Trump going after the crime issues in Washington, D.C., which I think could be an incredible opportunity to focus going forward on not just Washington, D.C., but potentially other cities. Because if you drive down the crime rate in Washington, D.C., why wouldn't those same policies work elsewhere? I think it's a tough position to be in favor of illegals and against Trump trying to drive down violent crime.
Clay, I've done ride-alongs with ICE in Boston, I think like 3 or 4 times now. And every single time, within a matter of hours, every morning, Within a few hours, we end up arresting like 3 or 4 child rapists who were released into the community with ICE detainers ignored, all in the Boston area. Like, what motivation is there for these sanctuary politicians to want to protect those people? Is it just to give the finger to Trump? Because I don't get it.
Yes, that's exactly what it is. They no longer care kind of about what is right and just. They care about the things that will galvanize specifically their base so they can get potentially more votes because they are more woke or progressive specifically than the others. That's all that it is here, guys. But listen, we cannot ever forget this one thing here. Trump did not win 100% of the votes, okay? So we cannot say no one believes this, no one believes that, no one is backing this. Yes, Trump didn't win 100% of the vote. That should dictate to you exactly the percentage of people in the United States of America that in fact believe that there should be no border. Borders should not exist, and we should be giving everything to people who have never paid into our tax bases. That's it.
Yeah. I think that's unfortunately the reality, Bill. And I think that Democrats have found themselves for so long now, nearly a decade, in reflexively opposing everything that Trump is in favor of. And in the process, they're actually painting themselves into a corner where the vast majority of Americans, Democrats, Republicans, independents, line up and say, hey, you know what? This is just good old-fashioned common sense. I mean, you got by the way, it's not just Democrats, it's also the legacy media, which has typically been their allies. Look, right now, 2/3 of every person out there watching the news is watching us on Fox News. Nobody's watching CNN. Nobody's watching MSNBC because they aren't advocating for basic common sense. Heck, that story you guys just had. What are we talking about when we have locker rooms in high schools where people different than the gender are going in there and taking videos, and the people who call it out are the bad guys or the bad gals? I mean, there's just a sense out there that the overall universe has collapsed when it comes to sanity. And Trump, I don't even think, is particularly Republican in nature. I think he's just advocating for basic common sense.
Clay, I want to cover one other story with you. This is where Governor Newsom is taking heat for that illegal immigrant driver who had a driver's license and it caused that deadly crash. Watch here, DeSantis last night.
We got to get tougher on this nationally. You know, one of the frustrations we've had in Florida, we don't recognize illegal alien driver's license from any other state. California's done the opposite. They're inviting people to come to this country illegally. I think you're going to need the Congress to use the power of the purse and defund states like California that are sanctuary states and their similar cities, because we're trying to do the right thing, and yet we have to bear the costs from their misguided policies.
Yeah, guys, the problem is, guys, listen, I get it. Like, no one likes Gavin Newsom. Right, I'm using their lingo here. There are obviously a lot of people who like him, but California is always going to basically California every single situation here. They do not like the borders. They do not like anything that basically has the ability to make some one person feel bad. If there are 40 million people and one person feels bad, they're going to say that one person's problems are more important than anyone else's problems. It's all about niche subgroups with California specifically. They are absolutely bringing people to the United States of America, along with many of the other sanctuary cities who are basically promoting and bragging specifically about, how much they're offering to the people that are coming into the country. That's what things are. But I get it, right? Listen, we are in an interesting time where we have basically running into like a negative birth rate type of scenario. We have the least amount of like traditional men and women probably in America right now, the least amount of it. No one for the most part likes each other anymore. Just look at the internet, right? Look at the internet and you'll see how sad and pitiful most likely your grandkids or sons or lives basically are in the United States of America, how pitiful it is in comparison to what it once was, right? So what's happening? Obviously, if you're starting to realize that, people are staying in the workforce a lot longer, they're choosing to not have families. So you bring in as many people from outside of the United States of America as humanly possible. And what do you find out? These are the groups that are having the most amount of kids, right? So then, guys, this is just, it's like a rabbit hole of nonsense, bro, right? Like, we need Americans to have kids, okay? We need to fix a lot of our issues here. Then maybe, just maybe, we can rely on ourselves rather than a gigantic amount of people basically flooding our southern border consistently, guys. All right. Just my opinion here, obviously. You guys all have an absolutely amazing day. Let me know in the comments on the next thing that I should be checking out. And if you guys are new here, please like and subscribe. All right.